My girlfriend said, if your family doesn't like me, that's their problem. After she rolled her eyes at my mom all night, I said, you're right. Then I solved their problem in a way that made her regret ever sitting at that table. What I left on her plate. My girlfriend rolled her eyes at my mom for the third time in an hour. I watched it happen from across the table. That slow, deliberate eye roll that said everything without saying anything. My mom was mid-sentence, talking about her garden, nothing controversial, just tomatoes. And Jessica just sat there with this look on her face like she was being tortured. I'm Ryan, I'm 33. I've been with Jessica for 2 years. She's 29, works in some tech startup, doing something with apps, makes decent money, more than me, which she reminds me of in small ways. I run a landscaping company, started it 5 years ago. It's doing well, not rich, but solid. We'd been talking about moving in together. That's why this dinner was happening. My parents wanted to get to know her better before we took that step. Made sense to me. My family is tight. Mom, Dad, my younger sister Claire, who's 26, and my older brother Mike, who's 35 with 2 kids. We do Sunday dinners once a month. Nothing fancy, just family. Jessica had been to a couple of these dinners before. She was always polite enough, but I could tell she thought they were boring. She'd mentioned it in the car ride home last time. Do they always talk about the same stuff? It's like Groundhog Day. I'd laughed it off. Told her that's just how families are. But tonight was different. Tonight she wasn't even trying to hide it. The fourth eye roll came when my dad asked her about her job. He was genuinely interested. My dad's like that. Asks questions, wants to understand what people do. Jessica gave him this condescending explanation, like she was talking to a child. It's very technical, you probably wouldn't get it. My dad just nodded and went back to his pot roast. My sister Claire shot me a look. The kind of look that said, are you seeing this? I absolutely was. Then came the moment that changed everything. My mom brought out dessert, apple pie, made from scratch. She always makes pie for Sunday dinners. It's her thing. She was proud of this one. Mentioned she'd used apples from our neighbor's tree. Jessica looked at the pie, then at my mom and said, I'm not really into carbs right now. Trying to watch my figure. She patted her stomach. But thanks anyway. My mom's face fell for just a second before she recovered. Oh, that's okay, dear. More for everyone else. Jessica leaned over to me and whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Does she always push food on people like this? It's kind of passive-aggressive. The table went quiet. My brother Mike put his fork down. Claire's eyes went wide. My dad cleared his throat. I looked at Jessica, really looked at her, and something clicked. This wasn't nerves. This wasn't her being uncomfortable. This was who she was. This was how she saw my family, as beneath her. Can I talk to you for a second? I said, in the kitchen. We walked into the kitchen. I closed the door. What is your problem tonight? I kept my voice low. What do you mean? She crossed her arms. You've been rolling your eyes at my mom all night. You were rude to my dad. And that comment about the pie? That was completely out of line. She shrugged. I'm just being honest. If your family doesn't like me, that's their problem. There it was, clear as day, not an apology, not even an acknowledgement that she'd been disrespectful, just a shrug and a dismissal. You're right, I said. She looked surprised. I am? Yeah, if my family doesn't like you, that is their problem, and I'm going to solve it for them right now. I walked back to the dining room. Everyone looked up. Sorry, everyone. Jessica's not feeling well. I'm going to take her home. Jessica followed me out, confused. I feel fine. What are you doing? I grabbed my keys. We're leaving. We got to the car. She was quiet until we were halfway to her apartment. Then she started. That was so embarrassing. You made it seem like I did something wrong. You did do something wrong. You were incredibly rude to my entire family. Oh my God, I was not. You're being so sensitive. They're being sensitive. You rolled your eyes at my mom 4 times. I counted. You dismissed my dad. You insulted my mom's pie. And then you said, if they don't like you, it's their problem. It is their problem. Her voice got louder. I'm not going to fake being someone I'm not, just to impress your family. If they can't accept me as I am, then maybe we shouldn't be together. I pulled up to her apartment. Put the car in park. Looked at her. You're right again. Maybe we shouldn't be together. Her face changed. Wait, what? We're done. I'm not going to be with someone who disrespects my family, especially my mom. You can think whatever you want about Sunday dinners being boring, but you don't get to treat them like they're beneath you. You're breaking up with me? Over one dinner? No, I'm breaking up with you because you just showed me exactly who you are, and I don't like it. She sat there, mouth open. Then the anger came. Fine, you know what? Your family is boring. Your mom is passive-aggressive, your dad asks stupid questions, and you're a landscaper. I was settling. You should be grateful someone like me even gave you a chance. I smiled, actually smiled, because she'd just confirmed everything. Get out of my car. Excuse me? Get out, we're at your place, this is done. She grabbed her purse and slammed the door. I watched her storm into her building, then I drove back to my parents' house. Everyone was still there, cleaning up. They all looked at me when I walked in. Is everything okay? My mom asked. It is now, I said. We broke up. My dad nodded slowly. That's probably for the best, son. I'm sorry, my mom said. I didn't mean to cause problems. You didn't cause anything, Mom? She did. You made a beautiful dinner and she was disrespectful. That's on her, not you. Claire hugged me. She was awful, Ryan. I was trying to give her a chance, but wow. Mike clapped me on the shoulder. You did the right thing. Family first. I stayed for another hour. Had a piece of that apple pie. It was perfect. My mom seemed relieved. She'd been holding tension all night that I hadn't fully noticed until it was gone. When I got home, my phone was blowing up. 20 texts from Jessica. They started apologetic and got progressively angrier. I'm sorry, I was just nervous. Can we please talk about this? You're being ridiculous? Your family is boring though. Answer me. You're gonna regret this. I can't believe you're choosing them over me. I blocked her number and went to bed. The next day at work, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Ryan? It was Melissa, Jessica's best friend. What do you want, Melissa? Jess is really upset. She says you dumped her for no reason. That's not what happened. I dumped her because she was disrespectful to my family. She said she was just being herself. She shouldn't have to pretend to like boring family dinners. Then she shouldn't date someone who values family. We're not compatible. It's that simple. You're being a jerk about this. Melissa, I really don't care what you think. Tell Jessica to stop having other people call me. We're done. I hung up. Over the next week, Jessica tried everything. She showed up at my work site twice. The first time, I was in the middle of installing a retaining wall for a client. She pulled up in her car and got out, heels sinking into the mud. Ryan, we need to talk. No, we don't. I'm working. You can't just end a 2-year relationship over one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern. I just finally paid attention to it. Now please leave. You're on a client's property. She looked around at my crew, who were all watching, got embarrassed and left. The second time she brought coffee, like that would fix it. I was meeting with a client, pricing out a new patio design. She walked right up and interrupted. I brought you coffee, your favorite. The client looked uncomfortable. I stood up. Jessica, you need to leave. I'm in the middle of a consultation. Just hear me out. 5 minutes. No. Leave or I'm calling the police for trespassing. She left, but not before telling my client, he's being completely unreasonable. I was nothing but nice to his family. After she was gone, the client looked at me. Ex-girlfriend? Yeah. Say no more. I've been there. We finished the consultation. I got the job. 2 weeks after the breakup, my sister called me. You need to check Jessica's social media. I'd already blocked her on everything, but I had Claire send me screenshots. Jessica had posted a long rant about how she'd been dating a man who chose his mommy over his girlfriend, and how some men never grow up and cut the cord. She called me immature, said I had an unhealthy attachment to my family, and that she dodged a bullet. The comments were split. Half were supporting her, half were calling her out. Someone had apparently heard the story from a mutual friend and posted, "Didn't you roll your eyes at his mom all night and insult her cooking? That's not choosing mommy, that's having basic respect." Jessica had responded, she was being passive-aggressive and I called it out. I'm not going to kiss up to someone just because she's his mom. I didn't respond to any of it, didn't engage. Just let her have her public meltdown while I moved on with my life. 3 weeks post-breakup, I was at a bar with Mike and some friends. We were watching a game, having a good time. Jessica walked in with Melissa and some other friends. She saw me immediately. I could tell she was deciding whether to come over. She did. Ryan, hi. She was trying to sound casual. Jessica, how have you been? Good. She waited for me to say more. I didn't. Just turned back to the game. Can we talk? Maybe outside? There's nothing to talk about. I think we left things in a bad place. I just want to clear the air. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She looked tired. The confidence was gone. She looked smaller somehow. The air is clear, I said. You disrespected my family. I ended the relationship. That's it. There's nothing else to say. I was having a bad day. I shouldn't have acted that way. You're right, you shouldn't have. But you did. And then you doubled down on it. And then you posted about it online. So no, I'm not interested in clearing anything. We're done. Please leave me alone. She stood there for another second, then walked back to her friends. I watched them whisper and look over. I didn't care. Mike leaned over. Cold man, but fair. Yeah, I said. Fair. A month later, I heard through mutual friends that Jessica was telling people I was controlling and that she escaped before I could isolate her from her friends. The story had completely changed. Now I was the villain. The guy who demanded she worship his family. The guy who couldn't handle a strong, independent woman. I didn't correct anyone. Didn't defend myself. The people who mattered knew the truth. My family knew. My real friends knew. Everyone else could think whatever they wanted. Then something interesting happened. I was at a networking event for local businesses, just mingling, making connections. A woman approached me, mid-30s, professional looking. Are you Ryan, the landscaping guy? That's me. I'm Amy. I own a property management company. I heard about your work from a client of mine. Also heard you recently became single. I laughed. Word travels fast. Small town, she said. Also heard your ex was posting some pretty wild stuff about you online. Just want you to know, I know her. We went to college together, and I'm not surprised by any of it. She's always been like that. Thinks everyone is beneath her. Thanks for the heads up, but I'm good. That relationship is over. Good. She was always dramatic. Anyway, I actually do need some landscaping work done. 4 properties. Interested? We exchanged information. I ended up landing a contract worth about $40,000 over the year. All because I showed up to that event. 2 months post-breakup, Jessica called me from a new number. I recognized her voice immediately. Before you hang up, please just listen. I hung up. She called back. I blocked the number. She called from another number. Ryan, I'm sorry. I was wrong about everything. I see that now. I was insecure and I took it out on your family. I miss you. Can we please try again? No, why not? People make mistakes. I've apologized. You apologized after 2 months of dragging my name through the mud, after showing up at my work, after posting lies online. That's not real remorse. That's regret that I didn't come crawling back. That's not fair. It's completely fair. You showed me exactly who you are, multiple times. I believe you, and I don't want that in my life. So that's it? 2 years and you just throw it away? You threw it away when you disrespected my mom, when you said my family was boring, when you told me I should be grateful you gave me a chance. You ended this, Jessica. I just made it official. I hung up and blocked that number too. 3 months later, my mom called me. Honey, you need to prepare yourself. Jessica's mom called me. What? Why? She wanted to apologize for her daughter's behavior. Said Jessica has been struggling and finally admitted to her what really happened that night. She feels terrible. She asked if there was any chance you two might work things out. What did you say? I told her that was between you and Jessica, but that I appreciated the apology. She seemed very sorry. Said she didn't raise her daughter to act that way. That's nice of her, but no, there's no chance. I figured, just wanted you to know. Also, she mentioned Jessica lost her job recently, something about an attitude problem with her team. I didn't feel good about that, but I didn't feel bad either. Actions have consequences. She'd been disrespectful to my family. Apparently, that attitude extended to other parts of her life too. 4 months post-breakup, I ran into Jessica at a grocery store. Literally almost ran my cart into hers coming around a corner. Oh, hi, she said. Hi. We stood there awkwardly. You look good, she said. Thanks. I'm sorry about everything. I really am. Okay. Is that all you're going to say? What do you want me to say, Jessica? I don't know, that you forgive me, that maybe we can be friends? I don't have any anger toward you, but we're not going to be friends. What you did showed me your character. I don't want that in my life in any capacity. Her eyes welled up. I made one mistake. No, you made a choice. You chose to be disrespectful. You chose to double down when I called you out. You chose to trash me online. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. And I'm making a choice too, to move forward without you. I walked away. Left her standing there in the produce section. That was 6 months ago. I haven't heard from her since. My life has been peaceful. Work is great. The contract with Amy's property management company has led to 3 more commercial clients. I'm looking at expanding the business, hiring more people. I've been seeing someone new for the past month. Her name is Lisa. She's a teacher. We met at a friend's barbecue. She's kind, funny, and respectful. Last week, I brought her to Sunday dinner. She loved my mom's cooking, helped clear the table, asked my dad about his golf game, played with my nieces. She fit right in, natural, easy, no eye rolls, no condescension, just genuine warmth. After dinner, my mom pulled me aside while Lisa was playing a board game with Claire. I like her, my mom said. She's good people. Yeah, she is. You deserve someone who appreciates you and your family. I'm glad you didn't settle. I hugged my mom. Me too. The thing about that night with Jessica, the night everything ended, is that it wasn't really about the eye rolls or the pie comment. Those were symptoms. The real issue was respect. You don't get to disrespect the people I love and expect me to be okay with it. Family isn't perfect. Sunday dinners might be boring to some people, but they're mine, and they matter to me. Jessica wanted me to choose between her and my family. She thought she was calling a bluff. She thought I'd cave, apologize, and learn to accept her behavior. Instead, I solved their problem. I removed the person who didn't respect them. Simple as that. What I left on her plate that night wasn't just apple pie she refused to eat. It was the relationship she threw away, the future she dismissed, the respect she couldn't be bothered to show. She left all of that on the table when she rolled her eyes at my mom, and I made sure she understood exactly what that cost her. I heard through friends that she tells people I chose my family over her. Like it's an insult, like it makes me weak. But here's the thing, I did choose my family, and I'd make that choice again every single time. Because the right person doesn't make you choose. The right person becomes part of your family. They understand that love isn't about making someone pick sides. It's about building something together that includes the people who matter. Jessica never understood that. And that's why she's gone, and Lisa is here, laughing at my brother's terrible jokes and helping my mom with dishes. Some problems solve themselves when you have the courage to walk away. This was one of them. Last week, I was at my parents' house helping my dad build a new deck. Jessica drove by, slowed down, looked at the house, kept driving. My dad saw it too. That her? Yeah? Good riddance. Yep, we went back to work. The deck turned out great. We christened it that Sunday with a family dinner. Lisa brought flowers for my mom. My mom cried a little. Happy tears. That's what respect looks like. That's what family looks like. And I'm grateful every day that I didn't settle for less.